Welcome back, everybody. This time we're talking about SaGa Emerald Beyond, which is a new entry into the SaGa franchise and a long-awaited one for sure. Now, this game looks super unique, like the art style, and just it almost feels like even though there's moving portraits, they seem like they're totally still somehow too. And I just love how unique it looks in general. So we're going to look at the trailers that they've given us so far. We'll talk about the information for this game and just kind of put it all together. So first off, let's go ahead and get in here. So there's a bunch of different characters that you can play as in this game, and depending on the one that you play as here, so there's all the ones that you see on screen here, you get a different story. Now they meet each other, they can link up, and you can make decisions that will affect everything. But we can see that we've got this guy in the middle, your pretty vanilla, anime boy, who is going to control a bunch of puppets in his party. We've got on the right there two very culturally diverse women that are partners. And so we've got the cowgirl, but then we've got this kind of sniper that's has a really interesting outfit. On the left, we've got a witch that has two cats on her hat, but she also, I guess, moonlights as a high school girl, like secretly, or it's a secret that she's a witch. And then that singer on the top left, she kind of has her hands like that. She turns into a robot and needs to, I guess, maybe become a human again. And then the top person, I've completely forgotten what their deal was, but let's kind of go through it. They go through the information here and show us the different characters very quickly. So there's the witch, there's the high school version, and then she turns into a witch. This is kind of giving me Shadow Hearts vibes if you played those games. But yeah, here's a songstress who turns into this adorable mech. I think I might pick her. Right, and then there's this guy is like a demon king. Okay, we got all the tropes here. We got everything that you need to enjoy, and he looks pretty cool too. So you pick which one you want to play as, and then when you do, there's just all these branches paths, things that you can go to, and you can see, like I said, a super unique art style. The whole skit like kind of text box thing, not my favorite aesthetic for a game, but at least the portraits look real good. What I am most excited for about this game is absolutely this right here, which is going to be the combat. So in this party right now, we can see there's a bunch of different characters, but what's most important is that there's a giant cat right there, second from the left. Oh boy, I want to play as that cat for sure. It has a good voice actor in English too, which brings me to another point. When they did the trailers for this witch here, she had a trailer, and then for the guy that controls the puppets, they showed some English voice acting, and I have to say that some of it was like fine, but I will say some of it was hard to listen to, and that I would probably play this on the Japanese voice acting. And I am usually somebody that sticks to English voice acting. Like I will prefer English voice acting almost all of the time. I'm not a snob, but it really was like, I think they were going for a very specific, I mean, let's load it up. Okay, so this is the Tsunenori Mido trailer that goes over his character. He is a puppet master, and you know what? For this one, we'll take it off mute. We'll go ahead, we'll play it, and we'll react to this. Okay, cool music so far, loving that.
During the old regime, the Mido family churned out a whole bunch of ministers. But what the books don't say is that our real family profession involves manipulating kugutsu.
So that's okay so far. It's kind of a different voice. It's not a traditional voice that you would hear. And I always feel really bad criticizing a voice actor because I have no talent for that, and I have no idea how much hard work goes into it. I mean, I have it like I do little vocal exercises so I can speak more clearly on videos, and that's really hard in itself, let alone being an actual voice actor. So and at the end of the day, like, it could just be what they've asked for, but I have to say that it's also like partly the writing and kind of trying to be, it's like trying to be casual, but it's too on the nose.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to chip in with this cathedral project of yours. Well, the Emerald Wave is pointing me toward that door over there. I got no hecking clue what I'm supposed to.
I've got no hecking clue what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, so that's about as much as we're going to hear of that. But either way, we see there's like little puzzles here. He's pretty cool with his sword, and his puppets look really neat. Like, I love the animations for all these different characters. His puppets actually have personalities too, from what I understand. So hopefully they have like kind of like a diverse range that you can enjoy. But then we also have, we can try to load it up here. This is our trailer now, and we see the little cat theme there for our witch. So this is Amaya Aisling, who is a Japanese schoolgirl. She's come to the world to try to build up mana, and something happens. They don't tell us what it is, and her mana is stolen, her powers are stolen, and she kind of has to start from scratch, from ground zero, and that is the beginning of her quest. And so we'll get that information at some point, and that's what's going to like set her on her way, and then from that point she's going and meeting the other characters. She's following the Emerald Road or whatever it's called here, and she has this cat who is freaking rad, and I love him. So while I don't usually play as like the magical witch girl as my main character, if it comes with the cat, yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and probably do that, but we'll see, because I also love robots, and there's a robot character, so lots of good choices to be made. So for this game, we can also take a look at some information on Twitter just to see if we're missing anything. And what we do have is a release date. So this is coming out in April 25th. So the first part of the next year, and it's going to be on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, and Steam. So once again, a game coming straight to Steam. Very pleased for that, because I will play it on my Steam Deck if it is supported, and otherwise I'll just play on my PC, because it just makes it all the easier to gather information, information footage, things like that. I'm super excited for a new SaGa series, because I've played a bit of the older ones, and I actually have to admit that I need to go back and play more of them. But I just always loved how the combat was a little bit different from your traditional turn-based, with all like the techs and skills that you would learn, and just the branching stories and kind of different worlds and characters and stories that were just super interesting to me. But it was just a game that I didn't have access to a lot of when I was younger, because a lot of the games weren't widely available in North America, or at least when I was playing, and there weren't things like emulators just yet. So I definitely need to go back and play some of those games, but I'm really excited for a new one. So on the Twitter, we can see we've got our Puppet Master, we've got our Witch Amaya, and then otherwise there's some information about, you know, the different stories here. So for example, with Tsunenori, you can see he comes from a very important family. There's all his puppets. And then who is this kind of mastermind at the top? Like, is that going to be a political rival for his family? Is that maybe the head of his family that he's having to deal with, while he's still actually doing this secret function of his family? We don't know that yet, but we can see this is one of his puppets. We have another one here, and there's actually lots of good information about them and about their family, which is pretty cool. I'm very intrigued by all the puppets and the animations and stuff, but we'll have to kind of wait and see how that all develops. We also have a little bit more information about what happens with Amaya, because she loses her magic, but this woman here, Matcha, is actually somebody that comes and helps her and gives her the ability to see emerald waves, and that's after she loses her powers. And then we also have Shinobu Katu here, who is actually an assumed name, so he's kind of posing as something else, but he's known as Squire 154-138-37, and he is actually protecting Amaya from, I guess, because she's come from the witches clan to come do her trials and build up her mana, and he's kind of secretly watching her. So that's part of her story here. We can see the key art for her story, and most importantly, we can see the cat in the bottom center. So this is the two characters that we have the most information from. So there's Red. This is the same guy here. So this is what he looks like in his cool suit, nice hair. And then here's Red Squire all armored up, looking pretty good. We have a little bit more information about characters. I'm not going to go through it all, but if you want to go check it out, by all means. We've got Gourmand. That's important. He's like a little mole creature. and he has a penchant for delicious food. I'm all about that. Love it. And there's some really cool artwork for the worlds that people can visit. I'm probably gonna have to use this one in my thumbnail, if not this one here, because all the cats in it, or possibly the mole creatures are all hanging out, bringing some food over, building a little fire. That's all very cool as well. The game has lots of cool screenshots as well that are out. We can see that we have all of our information on armor, on our stats, resistances, and everything else that you would be familiar with from these games. I love that whatever animation this is we saw in the trailer, where you know, his kind of energy is going into one of his puppets, and then that's going to, you know, affect the battle in some way. But otherwise, let's cap it here. I'm trying not to talk too long for these videos. Let me know what you think about this. If I missed anything important that you want to share, you know, with everybody else, then comment and let us know that. Otherwise, I'll see you all soon enough in another video.